So sometimes, as we're bettering ourselves and we're on this journey, we find that we do things that surprise us. And this has just happened with me this evening, so I just wanted to share it with you quickly. So, a basic fear that most people have, and a basic fear that I've always had, and it's probably one of the most powerful fears that most adults have, I would say, that carries on through most people's lives, is a fear of rejection. And so when we have a constant fear of something, we tend to avoid it because we do things in life for two reasons. We do things to either gain pleasure or avoid pain. Those are the two reasons which govern all our decisions. Everything, if you think about every decision you make, it's to either gain something positive or to avoid a negative feeling or a negative situation. So this fear of rejection is a big thing for me. And then I did something this evening which really, really did surprise me, and it felt like a really big step forward. So I did want to share it because it wasn't something that was planned. It's just something that has come about because of the learning and the changing that I've been doing and the developing that I've done. So basically, one of my goals, one of my big long-term scary goals, I'm going to share this with you. It's kind of a bit of a scary thing, sharing big goals. But one of my big scary goals is to do a TED talk. Now, if you've heard of the TED Talks, you may have come across them on YouTube, because the best talks are recorded and then broadcast, and millions of people watch them. So these TED Talks are world-renowned talks by the top thinkers, geniuses, speakers, the top experts in their field. And these talks they are world-class talks, and they are done in front of several thousand people. The talk is worked on by a team of, writers and experts. So it's the opportunity to stand up and give the talk of your life on a subject that you're passionate about, on a subject that you're an expert in. So they have a lot of experts and geniuses. People like Bill Gates have spoken, people who've won Nobel Prizes, which is very intimidating. But then also they have people who are new and emerging. So new and emerging speakers and thinkers, people who are breaking out and doing new things. And so one of my big, massive, scary goals is to be able to do one of those speeches at some point in the future, because I'm so passionate about what I do, and I've been on such a crazy journey in my life. And one of my big, big fears has always been a fear of public speaking. Now, I conquered this slightly a few years ago when I did network marketing, because I was on a very intense personal development journey, lots of reading, lots of learning, lots of putting into practice. And I did stand up and give a few minutes of training about a subject I was very passionate about in front of, I think it was about 60 people. Now, that was one of the most terrifying things that I've ever done, because that's one of my fears. So the TED Talk thing is a whole new thing. And part of me feels like it's impossible. Another part of me knows it is possible at some point. And there's no reason for me not to try. There's no reason for me not to give it a go. So I did some Googling this evening, and I thought, right, come on, let's look into this. And there's a little voice in my head saying, you're never going to do it. You're never going to stand up and give a TED Talk, so why bother? And then the other little tenacious, stubborn, courageous part of me that doesn't want to give up thought, well, just look into it, just do it, just try, because what have you got to lose? So I looked into it, and it turns out there's an online form, and you can nominate yourself or someone else, and you give a bit of information, and you give a link to your website or a link to any speeches that you've done, any videos you've done. And even as I was looking at the form, I was thinking, this is impossible, they're never going to choose me. And then I had a mindset shift that I've never had before, where I actually thought to myself, I'm going to get turned down for this, but I'm going to apply anyway. And I've realised what a massive, massive step in my growth and development that is, because usually if there's a possibility of rejection, then I will be very, very wary about even trying. I will be very nervous, very wary. And if it's like a big scary thing and I think there's not really much chance, I generally won't go for it. But this was a different mindset. This was almost, I'd really like to do this and it is possible one day and I will probably get turned down, but I'm going to apply anyway and expect the rejection. And it's going to sound really weird, you know, like why would you go for something that you believe you're going to be rejected at? But it's something about the act of courage in believing that you can do it one day, and you're going to it's almost like you're going to immunize yourself. So it's like having a jab, you know, so that you don't get ill. So it's like, okay, I'm probably going to get turned down. I likely am going to get turned down. I'm a very new person with the YouTube coaching. I don't have big numbers yet, but I'm passionate and I'm consistent. And why not? I won't expect anything back. I probably won't get chosen, but who knows? And maybe in the future. But just the act of doing it has been a big step forward. So just something to be aware of, people, that when you're making decisions, you don't necessarily just have to go for things that you know you're going to get, because actually having courage is a big, big thing. Having courage is a very having the courage to do something that you may get rejected for, having the courage to do that is a big scary thing, and it will build up your resilience and build up your courage and build up your confidence. It's almost like having the confidence to go for something but almost feel detached from the outcome, and that's a very powerful thing. That's how we manifest our dreams. We think it might not happen, we believe it could happen, we're going to go for it anyway, and if we do get accepted, it's a massive bonus. But just the act of doing it is a big, big step. So just something to think about. I hope you're having a great day. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe and all the usual stuff. Keep watching. I'm doing a video every day, even though I'm now running out of space and I need more storage. And I will catch you very soon for another video. I hope you're all fantastic. Okay, cheers guys. Bye.